After a family holiday soaking in the Californian sunshine and even being mistaken for Taylor Swift at a spin class, Monday we'll see the Prime Minister crash back to reality. That's when Parliament returns from recess and there's an urgent order of business at the top of Rishi Sunak's to-do list, the Mid-Bedfordshire by-election. Nadine Dorries' resignation gives Labour and the Lib Dems another chance to try and overturn a safe Tory seat. But with the Lib Dems trailing in the polls and Labour offering up a zombie cosplayer as their candidate, maybe the Conservatives could actually hold on. TalkTV correspondent Victoria Innes hit the streets of Flitwick in Bedfordshire to ask voters who they want.
When Parliament returns from its summer break next week, much of the attention will be focused here in Mid-Bedfordshire. A traditionally safe Conservative seat, the party currently holds a whopping 25,000 majority.
I really am.
I am more Conservative.
Yeah, I am.
Problem is, its local MP just resigned, launching a blistering attack on the party and triggering a brutal by-election.
I want someone who's going to be there for the country, and I'd never ever vote Labour. As long as they get someone good in for Conservative, I'll vote them.
Yeah.
It means that from Monday, the clock is ticking for a vote to be held here, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Labour overturns that huge majority, it would be the biggest collapse in support for the Tories in by-election history.
I think definitely it would do better in Labour. But the thing is that it's such a massive Conservative majority in this county. It'd be really, really unbelievable if it gets turned over. I don't think it will get turned over. I think somebody else deserves a go for us, for people who live here, yeah.
But what of the big issues and of the other candidates?
Conservatives and Labour are backstabbing all the time. Lib Dems haven't been given a chance, so I don't know. Independents.
I will vote Labour in the by-election. I will vote Labour in the general election because basically fed up of the Conservatives not getting any answers, not getting anything at all. When Tony Blair was in, whatever he'd done or not, I'm not here to sit and discuss that or argue about that, I have money in my pocket. Ever since the Conservatives have been in, they went out, they come back in again, I've got no money in my pocket.
Doctor's surgeries and hospital appointments. But again, we have had a pandemic, so you can understand.
And the other thing is that we've got a lot of antisocial behaviour. You know, once 11 o'clock and the kids know there's no police about, it's like a drag strip along the main roads with their cars. There's litter getting thrown out of cars, and that all adds up just to antisocial behaviour. And there's no deterrent in the area at that time of night.
With just over a month to go before the Conservative Party conference, where it's thought Rishi Sunak will try to reset his premiership, losing the seat here could be a fatal blow. Victoria Innes, TalkTV.
Well, Chris Curtis is a pollster and a Labour candidate for the neighbouring seat of Milton Keynes North. Welcome, Chris. Is Alistair Strathern really the best candidate Labour could find to overturn a 24,000 Conservative majority? A man who dressed up as a zombie as part of a Green protest stunt?
Well, I should declare an interest very early on here. I have at various points in my life dressed up as a zombie for Halloween. I was also in a TV advert for Gift Gaff dressed as a zombie once. And I certainly don't think that dressing up as a zombie or indeed caring about climate change, one of the biggest issues to face our planet, in any way disqualifies you from being a Labour Party candidate or indeed
doesn't disqualify you from being a Labour Party candidate. Forgive me for interrupting your rant there. It doesn't disrupt you from being a Labour Party candidate. But my question really is, how do you with a 24,000 majority to overturn, how do you get someone like that to appeal to such a true blue constituency?
Well, I mean, he appeals to that kind of constituency because it's where he grew up. It's where his family made their lives. It's where he did his first job. It's where he went to school. It's a community that he understands. And unlike Nadine Dorries, the previous MP, it's a constituency that he really wants to fight for as well. And, you know, there are politicians out there that, Liberal Democrats quite often, who put the party first, will jump into power with the Conservatives if they want to, and leave their constituency behind. I've known Alistair for many years. I consider him a good friend, a decent man, and the kind of person who will make a brilliant constituency MP.
Right.
Always putting.
And so that's the killer cell, is it? He's local and he's a decent man, and this is why Tories in this constituency would vote for him over the actual Conservative candidate.
Well, I mean, you don't just have to take my word for it. We can also look at the available evidence and the available data. There has been an opinion poll that has been run. There's only been one so far that's in the public domain that was run at Mid-Bedfordshire. That showed that it was a tight race between Labour and the Conservatives, but Labour were just ahead of the Conservatives because there were a lot of those Conservative voters willing to go for a fresh start in Mid-Bedfordshire, willing to support Alistair over the Conservative candidate. So we ended up with the Labour Party in first place, the Conservatives a very close second, followed by the Independent candidate, and then the Lib Dems way back in fourth. Now, what that says to me, sort of putting my pollster hat on, is that this is certainly going to be a very close race between Labour and the Conservatives. And if voters in Mid-Bedfordshire do want a fresh start, do want someone different, do want someone who's going to fight for the constituency, then they do need to back that fantastic local Labour candidate.
And why was it that no deal was done? Why was it that you and the Lib Dems chose to slug this one out?
We don't believe in deals. Look, the Liberal Democrats believed in deals. That's why they jumped into bed at the Conservatives. They turned around to the country and said that they were going to cut tuition fees and then tripled them. In the Labour Party, we don't believe in doing backroom deals like that. What we believe in doing is fighting to make sure that we get as many votes as possible, because we know that it is only with more Labour MPs and the Labour government that this country can get the change that it really needs.
So what, beyond him being a lovely man and local, what's the political sell? What are you selling there? Because the big criticism of Labour, of course, at the moment is that Keir Starmer seems to be just holding off, just not upsetting anyone in order to keep hold of this of the poll lead. So if I just keep quiet enough and let the Tories do what they do, hopefully no one will notice when they all vote for me. Is that what's going on with Labour in Mid-Beds?
Well, I think if your biggest attack you've got on the Labour Party is that we're not upsetting people,
no one's attacking
I'll take
you.
that as a
I'm
good
asking
chance
you what the sell is, what the political sell is. You've told us that he's a lovely man and he's local. Fine. Is that all you have to offer?
No, we've been talking a lot about the kind of policies that people in Mid-Bedfordshire need, whether that's the national policies that Keir Starmer's putting forward, and we will go into the next general election with, be that GB Energy, a new publicly owned nationalised energy company, so that the benefits of building and producing more energy in the UK here are spread between everyone, not just going to those at the very top, increasing the level of energy security here so that we're producing more energy in the UK, not paying money out to dictators abroad, whether that's a windfall tax on the oil and gas giants, because at the moment they're whacking up our energy bills and they're taking the profits. We think that some of that should be redistributed in order to combat the cost of living crisis. Whether it's our plan to double the number of training places for doctors and nurses, because we know that the NHS is in crisis right now, and that can only be fixed if it gets more staff. I can go on.
You could go on.
The next 20 minutes.
Sadly,
all
you
of the
won't.
variety of policies.
But that'll do us.
But also, it's important that Mid-Bedfordshire has an MP that
talking.
sticks up and fight for that fantastic local community that's been let down by Nadine Dorries.
Thank you.